So yeah, nearly £400,000 turnover and 75k profit roughly. And so I've completed stage 2, and stage 3 is my next step. Hello everyone. Thank you Volta and everyone for the amazing thing that we've got going here. So this is my story. So yeah, I've been doing rent-to-rent for 10 years, mainly HMO. I only started doing SA 1 year ago, basically. And I also do own one HMO conversion, which I got for myself as well. So what was I doing before property? So I was working as a project manager for digital marketing agencies. And what I would do is, I was living in quite a cheap HMO at the time. And what I do is the job paid well, but I didn't really enjoy it. So I'd work at the job for a couple of years, save up some money, and then I'd go traveling. And so I went to all of Southeast Asia, India, South America, that kind of thing. And then after doing 4.5 months in South America, staying in hostels and all that kind of stuff and doing a lot of partying, by the time I got to the end of that trip, I thought, I'm kind of over this now. The hangovers and the lack of sleep was not good for me. So I went back, got another job as a project manager, and then saved up some money, then quit that job and thought, right, I've got to do something else with my life, because what I've been doing so far is not what I was enjoying. So I decided to get into property to get the passive income and the wealth. And the inspiration was, I had a friend of a friend who was fairly young, and he already owned some property. I think his dad was in property as well, so he kind of knew what he was doing from that. And I thought, well, if he can do it, I can probably do it as well, but I didn't know how. And so I dived into all the courses, did Systemization, all that kind of stuff, and discovered rent-to-rent. And given that I was living in London at the time, obviously buying property, I had some money saved up, but not enough to buy property in London. So I decided to do rent-to-rent in London instead, and that's how I got started. So yes, I've been doing rent-to-rent for a long time. I then managed to save up some money and then eventually buy a property, which was my HMO conversion. And then obviously in the future, what I'm looking to do is to buy businesses as well. So here's some example. Now these are the numbers you'll see are pre-COVID numbers, because the rentals have gone crazy in London in the last 12 months or so. But this was one of my first rent-to-rent properties in 2014 in Hammersmith. It was a 4-bed house, had a large kitchen and living room and 2 bathrooms. It needed redecorating, but only kind of light work. So we painted the walls and we put in some new carpets. And we got a rent-free period at the start to do that as well. And so we took this on. Here's some photos. This one I nicked from the letting agent's advert, and the rest, not amazing interior design. I know we've seen some great interior design here, but this is just simple stuff. But it's cheap and it rented and it worked. So it is what it is. And these are sort of the average figures over the 5 years. So the average rent was just about 3k. The bills were just under 500. The rental income was over 4,000. We made about £800 a month profit. Eventually, the landlord wanted to sell. We rented it for 6 years, and we made over 40k profit over that 6-year period. So that's what we did from that. Here's another one. This was in Putney. Again, that was taken from the letting agent, but again, very basic interior design. Although that's quite nice, I thought. That one there. But it was a very nice property. And most of the rooms were pretty large as well. So that was pretty good. And so here are the numbers again. So 3,300 income, the rent to landlords just over £2,000, £300 bills, and we made just under £1,000 profit on average over that. And again, the landlord wanted to sell at the end of that one, and we made about 50k from profit from that one. If this was now, the rental income, you could probably add another 25% to that in terms of what the rental income would be now. So pre-COVID, I had 15 properties. But during COVID, during COVID, obviously in London, the property prices actually went up because of the stamp duty holiday, and also as a result of that, and also the George Osborne tax changes with people holding properties in their own name. A lot of them wanted to sell, so we had to give away a whole bunch of properties. So I currently have 9. But I actually have got 6 more to be coming on in the next few weeks. I've got 2 HMOs, 1 SA in London. I've got 4 SAs in Canterbury, which I'm doing as a JV partner who I met through networking. And I always used to hate networking when I started out. I never used to do it. I don't like Volta. I don't like talking to people. But then what I realized is after like 5 years in my business is that just from the people I met, just from doing my business, like, some builders and a former employee, actually, they'd thrown properties my way and contacts my way. And I actually built up probably half of those 15 properties from my network. So I thought, well, what if I actually did networking? What will come of that? And so, yeah, one of those things is the 4 properties in Canterbury, which I'm taking on. And yeah, so that's kind of where I am. And then, yeah, this is kind of like my sort of average business figures from the last few years. So yeah, nearly £400,000 turnover and 75k profit roughly. Yeah, so my biggest learning from Ultimate Investor, more rigorous systemization. I had kind of already systemized my business quite a lot. So I already got like a property manager to do all my viewings. I got a guy based in an office, a subcontractor who manages all my maintenance things, basically coordinates between my tenants and our landlords. But what I also did recently was I hired a guy to take on my property acquisition. So that's phoning all the letting agents and all the other sort of tactics that you can use to gain properties. And so he started 2 months ago, just over. Obviously took a bit of training to get him up to speed. And now he got, so 3 of those 6 properties that we're taking on were because of contacts that he had made. So yeah. And there's a real lesson in that, I think, which is that you kind of, in any business, you have to invest in marketing to bring business into your business. And in rent to rent, that marketing is calling letting agents or contacting landlords. And so if you think of a way to outsource that essentially or delegate it, then that's kind of like how it works in the rent to rent business. The learning, I was just starting out on this, but the buying the business, getting a second stream of income, that's my next step. And obviously that's what I'm learning through Ultimate Investor as well. So I've completed stage 2 and stage 3 is my next step.
Charlie Via. Well done, Charlie. And actually, Charlie going to get 2 awards. Charlie gets the manager of manager of this quarter, community manager for this quarter, first one. And then you've done stage 1, replace income, and systematized vision, stage 2. Now he's going to stage 3. He's doing such a great job as a community manager. He's doing a really great job. Thank you for helping us. Yeah, very proud of Charlie.